What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. It's Yowana here from Supwell, founder and CEO, and today I'm going to take you through my thoughts on the Adidas Takumi Sen 8 and why it's the speed day bargain of the year. Let's get into it. The Adidas Takumi Sen 8 just looks fast. It has a nice tight rocket-like verticality to it. When I put it on my foot, I just feel like I'm gonna launch like a rocket. The colorway of this thing is also pretty sweet. I got this one where it's blue and pink, which was their, I think this was part of the race day collection from 2022. The 2023 model version of this has more of a turquoise situation going on, but I really like these nice blues. It makes me feel pretty fast and sleek when I put them on, and it goes with everything else in my closet. I love the styling of the Adidas Takumi Sen 8. If Lamborghini came out with a shoe, I think this is what it would look like. It's just fast, mean, aggressive. It has these vicious cutouts in it. It's just sculpted, it's geometric. I love it. The fit of the Takumi Sen 8 is where things start to get a little bit dicey. The upper is extremely tight. It makes my foot feel like I'm a sausage getting wrapped in casing when I put it on. I have about 100 miles on these now, and it has started to warm up a little bit, but when I first put these on, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the tightest shoe I've ever worn in my life, and it might be for some of you. So if you have a wide foot, or even a foot that doesn't like being contained in small spaces, let's call it a claustrophobic foot, this might not be the shoe for you. Keep in mind that when they send these to you from the factory, the laces are put in the wrong way. So to make it easier to get your foot in and out, you're gonna wanna relace them and send the laces through the inner eye holes. They do it the other way when it comes to you, and it's an absolute nightmare to get your foot in and out of these. The ride on the Adidas Takumi Sen is where the magic happens. The midsole foam in here is called Light Strike Pro. It's a supercritical TPE compound, so what that means is there's gas injected in here, and those types of foams like we see in the Brooks lineup. We've also through some other lineups like Saucony and the Endorphin Elite has Power Run HG foam, which is also super critical. They tend to have more of a bouncy, bit of a firmer to the touch feeling, but are highly responsive. And in this thing, with these carbon energy rods, and I think it's about a 30mm stack of this Light Strike Pro foam, it feels amazing underfoot. It's so snappy, so bouncy. Whenever I put this thing on, it just feels like how running should feel. Pure simplicity. It's super stripped down with this lightweight upper combined with this nice platform here, and there's not a lot of rubber on the bottom either, so there's nothing weighing it down. This is the lightest shoe that I have in my collection, and it definitely rides like it. Springy, poppy, responsive, energy return. All those adjectives you want to throw at a shoe to describe it being fast, they all apply to the Takumi Sen. In terms of durability, I have about 100 miles on this pair right here, and I'm not seeing any real signs of wear, but most of my miles that I do on these, I go to this park with an asphalt track, and I'll do my repeats and all my workouts there. So that's where these have seen the most mileage. So they haven't seen a ton of gravel roads or anything that's gonna really put a lot of wear and tear on them. But so far, there is a little bit of abrasion in this lateral area, which happens in all my shoes around the 100 to 200 mile mark. But other than that, I mean, they're in really good shape, and I haven't seen any degradation of performance in the foam through the first 100 miles. I plan to keep rocking this as my speed day shoe until they no longer work. So I'll let you know and keep you updated. Maybe I'll do a 200 mile review, 300 mile review as we keep putting more miles on to see how resilient and durable this foam is. In my lineup, I use this as a pure speed day shoe. So if I'm gonna be doing intervals or repeats, anything under a mile or at a mile where I'm working for 6 minutes or less, the Adidas Takumi Sen 8 is great. Above that, I'll reach for a more cushioned super shoe option like the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 or the Nike Vaporfly. But for those short repeats, this feels amazing, especially going at those sub 5K paces or sub 10K paces. That's where this thing really lights up, because this is designed to be a 5K, 10K racer. I don't race a lot of those distances, but I'll usually pull for the Pro 3 for any race I have, or the Vaporfly for any race I have. So this goes into my fastest training pace workouts. Alright, I brought out some of my other fast day shoes so we could do a little comparison here, and I can tell you where they all fit in my lineup. So the Adidas Takumi Sen 8 This one is going to be for my fastest training days. When I'm doing 5K pace, 10K pace, 400 meter repeats, 800 meter repeats, going to the track to really sharpen my speed, that's when I reach for these. The Saucony Endorphin Pro 3, that sits on the other end of the spectrum for me. When I'm doing long workouts, 16-mile long runs, 18-mile long runs, where I'm gonna have big sections of marathon pace or half marathon pace, I'll reach for the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. The foam in here is very forgiving. The upper is much roomier and much more comfortable than in the Pro 3. And I know that over the long distance, the Power Run PB foam in here will just keep going. It works really nicely with the carbon fiber plate at slower paces as well, versus the Adidas Takumi Sun 8. That's not gonna be good for slower paces that you might have in a longer run. And with the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2, this is my half marathon racing shoe. I use it similar to how I use the Endorphin Pro 3, but I think this handles faster paces a bit better than the Pro 3 does, so I would slot this in between the Adidas Takumi Sun 8 and the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3. But with this one, it's 2-mile repeats, half marathon pace workouts if I'm doing a medium long run with pace. If I'm gonna do a 6-mile tempo and 8-mile tempo and I wanna really push the pace and challenge myself, I'll pull for the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2. Now, because the Adidas Takumi Sun 9 came out last year and it's only an upper update really, they cut the price on these to $100. You can find them probably around 80 bucks if you really do some digging, and that's how I picked these up, for 80 bucks at the beginning of the year. And at that price point, this thing is an absolute steal. There's no other shoe around $100 that can perform how this thing can perform. So if you're looking for a speed day shoe, if you've got 10K pace, 5K pace, interval training, 400 repeats, anything like that you're gonna be doing on a regular basis, and you want a shoe that can knock it out of the park, this is your best bet. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Adidas Takumi Sun 8 if you've tried it, and like and subscribe. Follow the channel for all the latest on performance running shoes.